There's a quote from Shannon L. Alder that I love that says, "Hide yourself in God, so when a man wants to find you, he will have to go there first."
The light I got from your story was it doesn't matter where you are, God can still find you.
God will set you up. You could be in one country or one state and your husband in another, and God will change circumstances and everything to get the two of you together at the right time.
The reason why I love your story is because when you took up the job, where you were seemed impossible to actually find a spouse because it was a night shift.
In my case, I was looking for this job and I got the job. I wasn't sure that I was going to take it because it was third shift, but I did. In his case, he was not looking for a job, but his friend was. And his friend wanted my husband to drive him to that job. So he did, and he ended up going in and he filled out an application. He got the job. This is the God setup. God used my husband's friend to get him to that job so he could get the job so he could meet me. Because in the end, the friend never got the job, but my husband did. So it was just so amazing. And my husband was looking for a wife because he said, "How will I find a wife working these hours?" Then there's another story with this lady. She lived in Atlanta and she was dating. And she was getting very frustrated with the dating game. She was waiting on God for her spouse. So she decided to give everything over to the Lord, this part of her life. And so she decided to do that. And she also had a friend in California that she went to college with. And he was just a friend. In this period of time, this friend moved to Atlanta and they connected. And she was like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "Oh, I live here now." So he decided to, even though he found out that she wasn't dating, he wanted to court her. So he told her, "I would like to court you." So they did get together, and in a short period of time, they were married. And that is just so amazing because God brought this person from the other side of the country to where she was. God is able to do that. In this next story, this young lady was dating and sometimes going on dating apps to find her husband. Nothing was turning out to be what she was looking for. Finally, she got tired and very frustrated and told the Lord she was going to stop doing all of this. She decided to surrender all of her striving to Him and to totally trust Him to bring her husband. She told God what she was looking for in a husband, and she began pursuing God fully and His purpose in her life. Within a short period of time, to her surprise, she began to find herself less occupied with the thought of finding her husband and more fulfilled because of time she spent with God and ministry. She attended Christian functions and gatherings because she wanted to continue to fellowship with other believers. One day she decided to attend a 3-day conference. During the conference, she kept noticing this one young man, actually only the back of him. She kept wondering, why am I seeing this guy? On the last day of the conference, the ushers had to seat everyone. They led her to sit at the same table right next to this young man that she was seeing. How strange is that? So they began to talk, of course, being friendly, and that young man ended up being her husband. What a God setup. She was led right to her husband. She asked God for confirmation that this was really him doing this. He supernaturally gave her confirmations that it was him that orchestrated this setup. What a beautiful story. These are just 3 amazing testimonies of many, and there's much more to my story in my book. There's a common thread found in many of these stories. When they surrendered to God all their efforts and striving to find a spouse, God stepped in. There's a quote that sums up these 3 testimonies by Quiet Women Company. Wait for the man who waited on the Lord to lead him straight to you. So yes, God knows you. He knows your heart. He knows the heart of the other person, and He can change all kinds of circumstances to get the two of you together. If you've been encouraged by this video, please like, subscribe, and share so others can be encouraged as well. And leave a comment about your journey or testimony. Your story will encourage someone else as they stand in faith waiting for their spouse. And watch my next video.